Welcome back everyone. For those of you that are new, my name's Brody. I used to be a FIFO worker for around 10 months, and before that I was a carpenter for around 8 years. And in the last year I have pivoted into the online space, and I now sell digital products and I do remote closing and appointment setting. So yeah, I talk to a lot of you guys on Instagram, and a common thing that I hear is, you know, what if it doesn't work out? You want to get started, but you're scared that it won't work out, right? And I mean, that's completely understandable. I also had those thoughts, those fears, like what's going to happen if it doesn't work out? And in my honest opinion, if it doesn't work out, so be it. I mean, you're going ahead and trying something new, trying to better yourself, and like if it doesn't end up working out for you, you just go back to, you know, working that job that you're trying to get out of anyway. So like where you're currently at, working your trade, working in FIFO, working in retail, whatever it might be, you're not satisfied with it, right? So you're trying to go out and do something different and better your situation. And if you happen to give something a crack for a few months and you work out it's not for you, it doesn't work out, then hey, you're going back to exactly where you are anyway. So in my opinion, it's a win-win, and that's the way I looked at it when I was getting started. And like you may be worried, like, oh, if I fail, what's people going to think? Who cares what people think? No one actually really cares like what you're doing. Anyone that, you know, is a half decent person will commend you for giving something new a crack. But from my experience in this industry, it's not a matter of like if it's going to work, it's a matter of, you know, putting in the work until it works. I've seen people come in and, you know, land an appointment setting role within 2 weeks of getting started. And then I've seen people grind it out for 3 months until they land a setting or a closing role, which it differs from person to person. And from what I've seen, the only people, you know, that it doesn't really work out for, if they get started and they genuinely don't like what they're doing, or they, you know, get 2 or 3 months in, haven't seen any results yet, and they give up. They literally just give up. That's the only time I've seen people fail. And yeah, just going back on what I said before, like, just give it a crack. Like, what's the worst that's going to happen? If you think you're going to get humiliated because you gave something a go, and you're worried about what people are going to think, in a month's time or 2 months' time, no one's even going to remember that you even tried it. Like, everyone's got their own shit going on. Nobody cares. And yeah, I mean, for me, it was a matter of, you know, I didn't like my situation. I didn't like being a carpenter, even though I did it for 8 years. I really did not like working in FIFO. So I was willing to do, you know, whatever it took to make it work. It wasn't a matter of, oh my God, is this going to work? It was, I'm doing this, I will make it work one way or another. If it takes me 2 months, if it takes me 3 months, if it takes me a whole year, it's going to work out. There's no way you can, you know, put all your time and effort into something for an entire year, and to learn nothing. And yeah, another thought of mine was the same sort of thing. Even if like I put a year's worth of effort into this and it doesn't work out in the end, I'm going to have a whole year worth of lessons, a whole year worth of failures that I can learn from to take into, you know, the next thing that I give a crack. But yeah, that's just my take on it. Honestly guys, if you're not happy with where you're at, something has to change. So just give it a crack. And like I said, no one gives a shit if you fail. Failure and failing is actually good, because that's the best way to learn. If you know, start something and you just win, how are you going to learn? You don't learn from your wins, you learn from your failures. And like, look, I've had plenty of fails along the way. I've had plenty of things not go right along the way, but you can't let it get you down. You just got to keep pushing forward, and eventually the wins will come. So yeah, that's pretty much my take on, you know, what if it doesn't work out. The way I like to look at it, I flip it around and think, what if it does? And for me, you know, it's worked out because I put the work in. And I honestly think back to when I nearly didn't take that leap because I was worried about what if it didn't work out, and it actually scares me to think that I nearly didn't do it. But yeah, obviously, if you got any more questions, or you know, you're worried about something else, you're not sure about anything, hit me up on Instagram. I'm an open book. I'll give you my take, and I'll try and, you know, help you overcome these fears. But yeah, thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next one.